Good evening, baseball fans, and welcome to another exciting edition of USPBL Baseball. I'm Drew Kell, and I'll be joined by my partner, Robert Wojkowski. Tonight, we'll see an Eastern Division foes square off for the third time in the early going during this 2018 season. The Unicorns have a 2-0 advantage early on in the season series against the Hoppers, as well as a half-game lead on their Eastern Division counterparts. For more on this matchup, we're going to bring in my partner for this evening, Robert Wojkowski. Robert, what can you tell us about the pitching matchup we're going to see tonight?
For the Unicorns, we have number 17, Gio Abreu, pitching, a right-handed pitcher out of New York, New York. So far, he's only pitched 3 innings in both of his starts, posting a ERA this season of 4.5. Just pitching 6 innings, allowing 5 hits and 7 strikeouts. And then for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, we have Devin Alexander from Sonoma State University. In the 2 seasons Alexander spent at Sonoma State, he posted a 4-4 record with a 3.98 ERA. In the 52 innings pitched, Alexander allowed 47 hits and had 23 earned runs. Although walking 24 batters, Alexander was also able to strike out 40. So far, Alexander, in the 2 games he's played this season, with those 8 innings pitched, has only 1 loss, was allowed 10 hits, walked 6 batters, and has a strikeout of 8 with an ERA of 10.13.
Well, Robert, good stuff. Looks like we're about ready to get to the national anthem. The introduction for the Unicorns is still taking place in the field. So right now we're going to go through the lineups, actually. We're going to start with these Unicorns right now. Leading off the left fielder, Connor Grote. And then Jimmy Latona, the catcher, batting second. The big fella, Dan Ward, batting third. And he'll play first base. Chris Allen will DH tonight. Spencer Ibarra will play right field. Justin Erlanderson will be out there as well in center. Brandon Guilfoyle at third. Dylan Sprague, the fan favorite, is at second base. A.J. Reynolds at short. And as Robert mentioned earlier, Abreu is on the hill. And for the visiting Diamond Hoppers, we have Cody Rudicelli out in center. Sebastian Diaz at second. Gabriel Gunter in left. Josh McAdams at first this evening. Gunnar Buhner at third base. The big fellow who had a great start to the early part of the season, Chris Mangus, will be DHing tonight for the Hoppers. The fan favorite for the Hoppers, John Kraft, out and right. Kevin Watley will play shortstop. Tommy Lacongo pitching. And once again, Alexander on the bump. So we're about ready to get the national anthem going. So we're going to turn everything down. So a beautiful rendition of the national anthem. And baseball is going to get going in a matter of minutes. Absolutely picture perfect night for baseball. Few clouds scattered to our west, but that is it. Gio Abreu will get his warm-up pitches going as the kids clear off the field. So, Robert, what sticks out to you in this Hoppers lineup that Abreu is going to be facing? Anyone in particular that you see?
Just Chris Magnus, as we've seen early on in the season, hitting 3 home runs in his first 3 at-bats. If he continue to hit, we could see a very good matchup here for the Diamond Hoppers, and hopefully they can come away with a win.
The Hoppers getting ready to face Abreu, who has made a few appearances early on in this season, but it's kind of hard to really understand who these guys are because we're just a few weeks into the season. So as time goes on, things will start to work themselves out. Players will get cut. Players will hopefully move up, and the guys in this league will establish themselves as well. So it'll be interesting to see how Abreu reacts to that, because I know that's not an easy thing to do as a professional baseball player, to get yourself ready to it's really survival of the fittest out there, because if you're not performing, you're going to get cut, and that's a tough reality, but it is the reality that a lot of these guys face.
No, I agree. Abreu's only pitched 3 innings in both of his starts. We haven't really seen him perform to his best ability just yet, so hopefully we can see that happen today.
Well, Cody Ruticilli will stride in and lead things off, kick some dirt around in the batter's box. Abreu points to the sky, and it looks like he is ready.
Ruticilli so far has an ERA of 2.50, so let's see if he can keep his momentum moving forward.
Ruticilli steps out of the box, and it appears he is ready to get going. So 87 degrees is your game time temperature. Abreu misses high with that first pitch fastball. And we're ahead of schedule once again. We've been saying that for the past couple of weeks. As Ruticilli lines one to left, and an early base hit. Some solid contact for the leadoff man, Ruticilli.
That was good, coming out aggressive right out of the gate. That's what you want to see in a team, coming out guns blazing, get themselves on base early.
Sebastian Diaz, the second baseman, will take his cuts. Diaz off to a relatively slow start, 182 in the early going with 1 RBI and 4 hits, but once again, it's early in the season. A lot of time to bounce back from that.
Appeared last night 4 times. Had 1 hit within those 4 appearances and 1 strikeout. Takes the first pitch strike.
Diaz behind 0-1. Had a nice healthy cut at that first pitch fastball. Abreu so far has only thrown fastballs. That one misses away. Count evens up on Diaz, 1-1.
Looked like he wanted Diaz to reach for that one a little bit. Just too far outside.
Swing and a miss. Big hack there. Had Diaz swinging out of his shoes. It's now 1-2, and that was a good location on the outer part of the plate by the young man, Abreu.
If Abreu can throw outside, low and outside right here, have Diaz swing for it, be in good position for the Unicorns early.
Breaking ball looked good from up here. Must have missed high because it was over the plate, but it is now 2-2. And if you're a hitter right now for Diaz especially, shadows are going to be a major factor. They're kind of creeping up on Abreu as Diaz swings and misses. So you could have seen it right there where the shadows affected that at-bat, which, because I don't know, me personally, when I saw shadows in the batter's box, it's another component. Hitting a fastball is hard enough, but when you add the shadows to that, the ball disappears, it comes back. It's a whole different game. Gunter up. He's another one of those diamond hoppers who's gotten off to a slow start, but we're expecting big things out of this young man out of Thousand Oaks, California.
Gunter was here last night as well, and appearing at the plate 4 times, had a hit and 1 strikeout. So far only has an ERA of 2.63. It's not too bad 3 weeks into the season.
Abreu fouls that one back, out of play. 1-1 the count on Gunter. As I mentioned, Gunter from Thousand Oaks, California. A lot of guys from California in this league, and I know California has a reputation of breeding baseball talent, and we're seeing it in this league here. Abreu ready for the 1-1. That dart's low. 2-1 now.
That pitch looked good though from up here.
It did. Once again, we can see if it's over the plate, but we have a harder time seeing depth. Gunter's swing and a miss was out in front of that. Looked to be a changeup out of the hands of Abreu. Defense playing Gunter straight up. Center fielder is shaded slightly to right center field, but other than that, straight up.
He's got a nice gap on the right side between the first and second baseman.
The 2-2 misses away. Yeah, as you mentioned, Ward is holding the runner there at first, which can definitely widen that hole between the second baseman and first baseman. Runner's on the move, and it's fouled back on the 3-2 pitch with 1 out. You do see that from time to time, and Gunter was only able to follow it off, excuse me.
Trying to stay alive and keeping momentum here early.
Runner in motion again, swing and a miss. Striked out, and they don't get the strike him out, throw him out. They'll get one of the two. And Rudicelli is on second with 2 away now. McAdams is up to the plate. We've seen him behind the plate. We've seen him DH, and tonight we're seeing him at first base. And he's a big fella. He is originally a left fielder. However, the league saw better potential behind the plate and at first base, so that's where he has been in the early going. Abreu throws that curved ball that misses away. 1-0.
Like you said, he's a big body player. He's 230 pounds at 6'4".
Yeah, that's a bit scary. McAdams almost hit by that curve ball. It got away from Abreu. 2-0 now on McAdams out of Calhoun, Georgia.
Got a 2.50 ERA with 5 hits so far this season. Not too bad, like I said, 3 weeks in.
Abreu throws that fastball in the inner part of the plate, and McAdams could only tip it back to the glove. 2-1 now. A nice crowd here, sold out actually, is the word I've received, and it appears that way. The lawn is pretty full. The whole grandstand is full as McAdams fouls that one down the third baseline. But I was here last year on the grounds crew, and there's no shortage of sellouts at this ballpark. Night in, night out, you're seeing a full house.
Yeah, we got a good crowd here tonight. Perfect weather for baseball, like you said earlier. We'll see a lot of that here this weekend.
1-2 on McAdams. Here's Abreu's 1-2 delivery, and it misses inside. Tried to get him with that fastball, but ran inside a little too much. McAdams evens count up at 2-2. Rudicelli a healthy lead at second, and Abreu looks in his direction, and I think that may have affected that 2-2 pitch because he missed well outside with that. And run the count full now, 3-2.
I think he was expecting McAdams to reach. Didn't quite work out that well for him, though.
And now Rudicelli will be in motion as it's 3-2, 2 outs. Abreu ready. Swing and a miss. Josh McAdams goes down swinging. The Hoppers threaten but do not score. We'll be back with more. You're watching USPBL YouTube channel. We are back for the bottom of the first inning. As earlier in the introductions, I said Connor Grote, and I need to correct myself on that. It's Carter Grote. He will step in. Young man out of Pennsylvania, hitting 208 in the early going of the 2018 campaign. Alexander, the lanky lefty, throws a fastball that misses away.
Grote so far has an average of 208, and the other night he actually, even though he was on base or at bat appearance 3 times, he had 3 runs, 1 hit, which was a double. So he did pretty good the other night.
Alexander features a fastball, forkball, curveball, slider, and changeup. So he has a lot of pitches, and hopefully here he can develop them. The 1-1 is in there for a strike. A late call by the home plate umpire. 1-2 now, however. Grote, very relaxed stance, just cocks the bat on his shoulder. That one misses away. 2-2 the count.
Alexander looks like he's packing some heat in the last 2 pitches.
Yeah, good velocity and good movement on those last 2 fastballs. Alexander Grote fights that one off. It was very inside, and I'm surprised Grote took a hack at it. And
I thought he would have taken the hit.
Alexander will certainly take it, because that was, from our angle, looked like it was going to be a hit by pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Alexander, the 2-2, misses up and away. He's been missing there during this at bat. That the 3 balls that he's thrown have all missed up and away. So
either up and away or really close and outside.
And that one on the inner part of the plate, Grote swings and misses. One away for Alexander and the Hoppers. Jimmy Latona, the catcher now, will step in. Latona has one of those protective helmets that covers the jaw. We've been seeing a lot of those at the big league level, but we're also seeing it here too. First pitch in there for a strike. Once again, a very late call by the home plate umpire. He waits a few seconds trying to trick us up here.
This is another New Yorker, might I add. He's from Rochester.
That one flared to right center. Under it is Kraft to haul it in. 2 down. And the big fella, Dan Ward, will step in.
Yeah, Dan Ward's another one of those guys standing at 6'4", 230 pounds. Talk about a big baseball player.
Yeah, from up here, you can tell he's just different than a lot of these guys. He's physically
built compared to some of the others.
Alexander, first pitch, fouled back to the screen on the right side. 0-1 on Ward. Ward off to a sizzling start. 409 average, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. But once again, early in the season, so you don't want to get too high or too low on what you're doing. But a lot to build off of for Ward as the 0-1 comes in high. 1-1 now.
Yeah, the Unicorns' last game, he had 3 hits and an RBI.
Yeah, that's part of the body of work he's built up so far. Ward, the 1-1, as Alexander misses again upstairs. So 2-1 now on Latona, or Ward, excuse me.
I think the league's familiar that Ward has a lot of power behind him with 2 home runs so far this season.
That one fouled back behind home plate, 2-2. The shadow now that we spoke of earlier creeping up towards Alexander, so give it another inning or so and it should be out of the way. But for now it's still a factor. Alexander, the 2-2, swing and a miss. Good breaking ball there. Ward was fooled, and that is it for the first inning. We'll be back with more. You are watching USPBL YouTube channel. We're back, top of the second inning here in Utica. Gio Abreu will go back to work, and Gunnar Buhner will lead off the second for the Hoppers.
Half of Buhner's hits came yesterday as the Eastside Diamond Hoppers took on the Birmingham Bluefield Beavers.
Abreu gets ahead 0-1.
So far having an average of 240 this season with an RBI.
That one misses pretty far outside, even the count up 1-1 on Buhner from Washington. Swing and a miss, 1-2 the count on Buhner. Abreu working quickly, and he's, for the most part, throwing strikes.
Yeah, he's looking good early on.
1-2 is grounded to third, diving attempt, but nothing to show for it for Guilfoyle. And a base hit for Gunnar Buhner. So now it's Chris Mangus, who had that unbelievable start. 3 home runs and 3 at-bats. He's since cooled down. However, he's still, that thought doesn't leave your mind as a pitcher. You still know that he's done that and he has the ability to do that at any given at-bat.
He's another big guy as well. 6 foot, 240 pounds. You know he's got power behind his swing. Those home runs have proved it.
And I believe all 3 of those home runs came off of fastballs, and I've seen a heavy dose of breaking balls since that point. And we're going to see if Abreu does that here. 1-0 early. That's lined right center field. It's going to be down on a base hit. So that's the first time we've seen Mangus go the other way, but a nice solid single to right. And now John Kraft, the fan favorite, the only returning position player for the Hoppers this season. So just that familiarity itself has given John Kraft the chance to be a fan favorite.
He's got a good average so far this season, 3.64 or .364.
Swing and a miss. John Kraft had a big hack at that one. And Robert, I think you were talking about Johnny Knight.
Yeah, that was my mistaken.
John Kraft is 188 in the early going.
Yeah, 3 hits so far. Walked 4 times. He's another one of those tall players we've seen so far this season, sitting at 6'3".
Yeah, a lot of length, for sure. 0-2 on Kraft. Abreu looks to second. And that is fought off back to the screen.
Falling down into a hole right now, Kraft. Down 0-2. He's looking to keep himself alive here.
Kraft had a very hot start in the early going of last season and finished off to be in the mid-200s. But he really showed what he could do in the early part of last season, as Abreu looking to second again. And that one misses away 1-2. And I think Abreu may be focusing a little bit too much on the base runners right now, and maybe should be focusing more of that energy on who he's facing right now, which is John Kraft.
Like you said, Kraft had a really good start last season, had 24 hits, 4 home runs. So you know that the hitting power is there, but early on in the season we haven't been able to see that.
John Kraft goes down looking. And there's 1 out now in the second inning for the Hoppers. Abreu now with 4 strikeouts. And we're only in the second inning, so strong start for Abreu early on. But the one thing about strikeouts is oftentimes it can really get your pitch count up. Now Kevin Watley will stand in, another Washington native.
So far, Wally has a 200 average. If Abreu can keep this streak going, hopefully he can pitch past 3 innings this time.
Yeah, definitely. That's a goal of Abreu, I can imagine, going deep into a game. Hopefully at least pitching enough to be in line for the win, which would be 5 innings, but hopefully even more than that. Abreu ahead on Watley. Watley sways the bat back and forth above his shoulder and watches that one go in for a strike. 0-2 now.
I think the Diamond Hoppers are underestimating Abreu's pitching ability right now, falling deep into an 0-2 count.
We've been seeing that a lot lately, just getting ahead of these Diamond Hoppers hitters. That one is hit high in the air, not deep, center field. Erlanderson comes in and makes the catch, 2 away.
That was a good play. Didn't allow the sun to get in his eyes. Was able to maintain focus on the ball.
Yeah, the sun right now is just probably going out of view for the outfielders, but at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, it is right in your eyes, but luckily we get going at 7, and that sun not as big of a factor as it could be in the earlier hours. Abreu misses high with that one. To Lukongo, the catcher. Buhner and Mangus on the base paths. With 2 outs, they got going early on in the inning, first 2 hitters of this inning.
Lukongo, like you said, 375 average this season, 3 hits, has an RBI, but was struck out 4 times so far this season in the first 3 weeks of the season.
Strikeouts definitely a big part of this league, which says a lot about the pitching staffs, but also says that these hitters have room to improve. As Lukongo looks at that strike on the outer part of the plate, 2-1 now.
I've seen an increase in strikes thrown throughout the recent games here at Jimmy John's Field.
Yeah, the warmer it gets, the better baseball, really. Swing and a miss on that slider.
I also believe it's because like new guys are becoming to get familiar, you know, with the field, with the style of play, because a lot of these guys are new to this league.
And no doubt about that. Definitely takes some getting used to. Abreu set and ready to work this 2-2 pitch. Swing, and it's tipped into the glove for strike 3. So another strikeout. That's his 5th in the early going. And we'll head to the bottom of the 2nd inning. You are watching the USPBL YouTube channel. We're back for the bottom of the 2nd inning. The designated hitter, Chris Allen, who's gotten off to a hot start, will step in against the big, tall lefty, Alexander.
Chris Allen had a hard time finding his connection to the ball last season. Picked it up really well so far to start the season off.
1-0 early on Allen. Now 2-0 as that one bounces in. A lot of these pitchers struggle with getting ahead in the counts, and we're seeing it right here with Alexander, and that's a recipe for disaster. The 2-0. That one misses
Up and away.
upstairs. Once again, we've been seeing that a lot. So,
Like you said earlier, it looks good up here. Looks like it's connecting over the plate.
the 3-0 now. Swung on, green light on 3-0 down the right field line. Hooking, and it goes foul. Started off in fair territory, and the spin of that ball just brought it a foot foul. That would have been extra bases for Allen.
Yeah, that's hard to see something like that happen. Ball carrying up and in the air for that long, just a drop inches away from the line.
So now it's 3-1. That one tapped to the shortstop. And one away. Nice play by Watley. Nice big hop and nice throw on to first.
Was able to position his body right in front of the ball. That way, if he couldn't make the play, he'd at least be able to knock it down.
Spencer Ibarra, the right fielder, taking his first cuts of this evening. Off to a nice start. And also the 1-800 Hanson's player of the game. This lefty-lefty matchup starts off in favor of Alexander, who pours in a strike.
Ibarra's doing pretty well so far this season with a 304 average and a home run.
Breaking ball bounces in 1-1. Ibarra has a very open, relaxed stance. Kind of looks like Adam Dunn back in the day. He used to just be very relaxed, open stance, and he would drive the ball to right field consistently. It's 2-1 now on Ibarra. That one misses low.
I think his stance kind of reflects on his hitting so far, having 7 hits this season.
Yeah, just a very simple approach, quick to the ball. And he's ahead here, 3-1. Oh, look out, Alexander, nice play. Hit sharply right back at him and fields his position nicely. 2 gone.
Those are some really nice reflexes there. Didn't even have time to blink before the ball was in his mitt.
Yeah, there's nothing about that was like practice. That's just complete instinct. And you saw it there. He just kind of stuck his glove out and a nice play. Justin Erlandson will come in.
His ERA is about this. His average is about the same compared to last season, just below 200.
He's ahead 1-0 right now. Alexander, after that nice play, trying to get back to work. 1-1 now. And I'm telling you, this home plate umpire, he's really waiting, because I thought that was a ball, and then 3 seconds later I see him gesture that's a strike.
Yeah, he's really trying to make us guess on what these pitches are.
That's a fastball on the upper part of the plate, and Erlandson swings right through it. 1-2 the count.
Erlandson's already off to a pretty good start compared to last season. Only played 12 games.
And a miss.
Only played 12 games last year. He's playing through 5 now. On pace to have a much better season.
After that strikeout, we're going to take a break. You are watching the USPBL YouTube channel. We're back in Utica, and the Hoppers will start it off with the top of the lineup. Cody Rudicelli, who singled back in the first frame. First pitch misses inside from Abreu.
That was a close pitch.
Once again, misses inside. 2-0 now. And if Abreu can get through this inning, he'll match his season high in innings 3 for a start.
Not looking too good, though. He's thrown 2 really close pitches to Rudicelli.
First 2 missed inside. The 2-0 now misses outside. So 3-0 the count. Abreu pours in a strike right down the middle. Rudicelli was never going to swing that bat.
That was a beautiful pitch, though. Right down the center of the plate.
That one misses away. Ball 4. Rudicelli's on for the second time today. And that will bring up Sebastian Diaz. Rudicelli in that leadoff slot has some speed, so you may see him in motion at some point.
I wouldn't doubt it. With the speed that he's packed and that we've seen so far this season.
Diaz 0 for 1. And 182 coming into today's action. That one hop to short. The relay is going to be a little off on the throw. And Rudicelli is retired at second. Diaz reaches on a fielder's choice.
It looked like Sprague kind of hesitated on making that throw from second to first.
Yeah, it almost looked like he'd never fully had a grip on it, and you could kind of tell from that throw it was a little up the baseline, so it was not the best exchange there.
I think he was a little bit worried, too, with Rudicelli right underneath him on that slide.
Yeah, it's always a dangerous play.
Kind of second-guessed himself.
Gunter come back for his second at-bat. And he fouls that one straight back. 0-1 on Gabe.
He's trying to come out aggressive here early on as the Diamond Hoppers have a man on first base with only 1 out.
5 strikeouts in the early going for Mr. Abreu.
Abreu has looked really good so far this game. Let's see if he can keep it up and get through this inning.
That one looked as if it slipped out of the hands, misses well outside. 1-1. Outfield straight up, as well as the infield on Gunter. The 1-1 is lunged for and missed. 1-2.
Gunter's another one of those big guys. His average doesn't really show it, but he's 6'2", 205 pounds. He's got the power behind him. If he can just transition that, there's still plenty of season left here.
No doubt about that.
I don't expect him to be under 200 much longer.
That one just missed on the outer part of the plate. It looked like a curveball that didn't get enough of the plate, just off the edge. 2-2 the count. Shadow no longer a factor as the 2-2 is fought off out of play and probably to a parking lot somewhere.
Abreu still looking pretty solid here as you're heading into the 3rd inning.
Diaz over at first. Pretty standard lead there. That one ripped. Look out. Base hit. And wow, that was a bullet off the bat of Gabe Gunter.
That looked really good by Diaz, though, trying to avoid the ball not getting hit to get that out.
Yeah, he was right in the path of that ball, stopped on a dime, and then was able to go to second.
That was a very smart play.
And now Josh McAdams, big fella, 250 coming into tonight's action, 0 for 1 on the game today.
I want to point out that this is good news for Abreu. There's nobody warming up in their bullpen right now. And
the bad news is there's traffic on the base paths with only 1 out. So hopefully a double play ball or an efficient out right here if you're a Unicorns fan. That one driven left field to the track, to the wall, and no chance to get it. It is gone. Josh McAdams turned on that ball, and it was a towering shot too. We talk about launch angle a lot in the MLB, and wow, that one really kissed the sky.
230 pounds on the season. He's got a lot of power and a lot of strength behind him. You saw it there on that swing.
And a 3-run shot, so a lot of damage done there. Abreu appears to be flustered, and he's going to have to come back and attack these hitters because you don't want to get the lead getting any bigger than it already is. Base is clear now, though, which is one of the only positives you can take out of that because that was a bomb.
Not to mention, that was also the first home run of the season for McAdams. Plenty more expected throughout the year.
Yeah, there was nothing cheap about that one. As first pitch to Buhner in for a strike. It'll be interesting to see how Abreu bounces back after that. Quickly ahead 0-2, so you like seeing that out of the young man Abreu, who really has every reason to lose his composure and start missing the zone, but he comes back and attacks Buhner with 2 good firm fastballs.
I think the home run definitely flustered him a little bit, but I still think he is really confident there on the mound in the 3rd inning. I think he can get out of this pretty quickly and hopefully move on and conquer the 4th and hopefully long enough to get that win or loss.
Swing and a miss. That was filthy. Started off right at the hip of Buhner, and it ended up right down the middle of the plate.
Abreu did really good with that batter, trying to pick himself back up after allowing that home run.
Speaking of home run, Chris Mangus is up. Hopefully he can join the home run fun. And he got a breaking ball there. We've been seeing that a lot lately, and it is tapped foul behind the plate.
So far, Mangus, I think you mentioned this, is 1 for 1. Had a single early on.
Yeah, it was good to see Mangus go the other way. We've seen him pull the ball really for all of his hits, but it was nice seeing him go the other way. And that one's fouled back, so it's quickly 1-2.
You can see based on his swing, he's really trying to hit this ball, trying to get underneath the skin of Abreu early on again.
Abreu the 1-2. Driven, left center field. This one fairly deep. It's going to die just in front of the warning track. Mangus gave a bid for a home run, but it fell short. And the Hoppers add 3 on that bomb. And we'll be back with more on the USPBL YouTube channel. Bottom of the 3rd, ready to get underway. As the Hoppers are out in the field warming up.
Brandon Larkin Guilfoyle is going to be up to bat. He's from Davenport University.
Local. Good to see another familiar face from the state of Michigan. We've been seeing that a lot as well.
Well, he grew up in Steamwood, Illinois. So not too far from Michigan.
Midwest.
Yeah.
Midwest. Guilfoyle steps in now. Unicorns haven't really got it going offensively to this point. Hopefully Larkin Guilfoyle can change that, the third baseman.
I mean, with the 1 point, or
first base.
ooh.
Wow, the first baseman bobbled it, found it, picked it up barehanded, and flipped it to first. Wow, it looked like an error at first, and I was actually obstructed. I couldn't see that quite at first, but as I realized what happened, that is a great play.
I thought Alexander was going to miss that for a second because it was high and away. He really had to reach to get that ball back.
And that was McAdams there at first base. Made the play, and nice job covering by Devin Alexander. Sorry about that. I couldn't quite catch that whole play. That one misses inside. As Dylan Sprague steps in for his first at-bat of the evening.
His average really doesn't do him much justice. He's under 1.
1-1 on Sprague. Good
But
breaking ball in there for strike 2. 1-2 now on the returning Dylan Sprague.
He has been walked 6 times this season.
Strike 3 on Sprague. Nothing he could do about it. He thought it was outside. Looked a few inches off the plate from here, but Sprague will walk back to the dugout, and his early season struggles continue.
Like we mentioned before, this umpire really likes to delay his calls.
As A.J. Reynolds will get his first chance at it. 2 away. First 2 retired from this Unicorns lineup. That one misses way high. 1-0. Reynolds, pretty short guy, so can be pretty easy to miss upstairs.
Reynolds really hasn't seen much action himself so far this season, only having 1 hit. Hopefully he can pick it up here again today. Just under 6 foot, 215 pounds though, so another guy that adds a lot of power and strength to this lineup.
And he looks at a ball on a breaking ball that just couldn't break quite enough. Swing and a miss on that. Another curveball. We're seeing a heavy dose of those early on from Devin Alexander. And that count is even now, 2-2. Here's the 2-2. Bounces in. Run the count full.
Both pitchers have come out really aggressive so far through the first 3 innings of this game. We've seen a lot of strikes and a lot of balls.
Both of these guys really moving at a swift pace, not wasting any time.
You can tell they're really comfortable in this weather today. It's beautiful weather. It's not too hot and not too cold.
Alexander, the 3-2, elects to go with a breaking ball, and he fools Reynolds as he did me. I thought he was coming with a fastball. But once again, beautiful job pitching by Devin Alexander. We're going to take a break. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. Johnny Kraft will lead things off for the Hoppers as the grounds crew scampers off the field. A little bit of a delay, but Kraft, no problem there. Kraft 0 for 1 so far tonight.
I still think Kraft's in a pretty good shot to have a decent game tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about that. He's an experienced guy, and he's shown us he can hit. Now it's just a matter of getting it going. The weather is improving as the 0-1 misses 1-1. Well, yeah, the weather's improving. It's a lot easier to hit once that temperature goes up because baseball isn't meant to be played in 40-degree weather, and we saw that early on as it is now 1-2 on Kraft.
Michigan weather, though, is always unpredictable. We see that always in the Midwest.
Oh, yeah. Abreu, another strikeout for the young man. Kraft lunged at that breaking ball in the outer part of the plate, and nothing to show for it. He missed that one pretty badly.
First time Abreu's made it past 3 innings. He looks so far pretty good after one batter. Hopefully he can keep up the momentum and make it happen.
Yeah, he had those 2 early hits in the last inning, along with that obvious home run that really did the damage. But other than that, he's looked good. And since that home run, he's thrown strikes, and he looked as if he's calmed down. See if that continues. And not right now. That one's ripped down the left field line. Once again, within feet. I'd say actually within a foot of being a double down the line. But Watley will have to go back to the batter's box, and it is tough to go back to the box after that because he got the pitch he wanted, and he drilled it, just couldn't keep it between the lines.
I don't really think Abreu allowed that home run to really fluster him or get under his skin at all. As you could see, he's still calm, collected, still pitching the same way he did in the first 2 innings.
The 0-1 misses inside and nearly hit the shortstop, Watley.
To me, that looked like that pitch skinned his pant leg.
Yeah, it was awfully close. And he has a pretty baggy jersey on. That one fouled back to the screen. 1-2 now. That pitch Watley hit down the line was a breaking ball. And since that near double, we've seen mostly fastballs. So
yeah, I think both pitchers have really focused on the fastball. This game, we really haven't seen them go outside of that all that often.
A breaking ball there by Abreu misses away. Count is now even 2-2. Here's the 2-2. Good pitch, but just missed inside. 3-2 now on Watley.
We've seen a lot of full count.
Another right here as Abreu gets ready. Misses outside. Watley's aboard with 1 away. Tony Lacongo will step in. Excuse me, I'll correct myself again. It is Thomas Lacongo. Nonetheless, the catcher will step in. Another New York native.
Yeah, from West Falls. Went to St. Bonaventure University.
Swing and a miss. Good fastball by Abreu.
Yeah, it was a beautiful pitch yet again. Like I said, Abreu looks really comfortable so far this inning.
And I think a little miscue there by Abreu. He went out of the windup with a man on first base, and immediately that was taken advantage of.
He never really checked the runner.
And
I thought he would have.
Yeah, Watley is now in second base with only 1 out, so a costly mistake potentially by Abreu. That one's in there for a strike after a 4-second delay by the home plate umpire.
Like I've said, Abreu looks really comfortable, even with that man on second and only being 1 out. Doesn't look all that flustered.
The 1-2. Lukongo sticks his bat out, and it's a base hit. Watley could have gone home if he had gone the whole way, but had to hold up because he was waiting to see if the ball would drop. But now there's runners on the corners with only 1 out. And now you see that miscue by Abreu is proving to be costly, as it would have been first and second with 1 out. Now it's runners on the corners and only 1 out. So now back to the top of the lineup, Rudicelli.
He's got a 250 average. Can easily make something happen here with only 1 out.
Rudicelli checks his swing, but it's a called strike either way. Rudicelli's 3rd plate appearance. He's hit a single as well as a walk, so reached twice in the early part of this one. The 0-1 darts away. 1-1.
Pitch was just outside. Latona, though, has got some good movement. Out of that stance, was able to move over quickly.
The 1-1. Fastball just off the plate. 2-1 now. Good eye there. That high fastball is tough to lay off of, and Rudicelli did a nice job there. 2-1 grounder to short. Could be 2. Trouble there at shortstop. The run will come in to score. And an unfortunate error there by A.J. Reynolds. It was a tailor-made double play. Got a nice big hop. And I think he rushed it just a wee bit, allowing that mistake to occur.
I think he tried to make the play before he even had the ball in his hand, causing him to lose control. So far, Abreu's given up 6 hits.
And it doesn't help that Rudicelli gets down the line quick, and Reynolds definitely had that in mind. So when you have a fast base runner, you may rush the play more than you normally would. And we just saw it there. Little mound visit here. Trying to get on the same page are Gio Abreu and his battery mate, Jimmy Latona. Diaz looks at that one as it falls in the outer part.
You don't see a lot of Michigan guys within this league. A lot of guys are from Florida or, like you said, out west, down south, where they can actually develop.
That one's on the ground to third base. Gobbled up and thrown on to first. Ward hauls it in. And that'll do it for the Hoppers in the 4th. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more. This is the USPBL YouTube channel. Back for the home half of the 4th inning. Sun has completely disappeared behind the home plate side of the stadium, allowing for no shadows in the ballpark. Carter Grote, he's 0 for 1 early on. That one ripped to left field. It's going to be trouble, and it's one hop against the wall. Grote digging for second. It's going to be close. However, the throw is offline. Grote on his way to third. He will get there standing up. And the Unicorns with their first hit of the ball game. And it's in a little odd fashion. It was a double with an error.
Yeah.
And a little miscue there out in left field. Could have been a close play at second. Turns into.
That's a really nice play, though, for the Unicorns. They really needed that to boost their momentum up after falling down by 4 here early.
Alexander looked in control, as I'd say he still is, but before that had thoughts of the no-hitter. I wasn't going to say it, but he really was on top of his game. And we'll see how he responds to this little, I don't know, bump
situation,
in the road.
yeah.
We saw Abreu do it. He's done a fairly nice job. And now it's Alexander's turn. That one misses away, 2-0. But I will say this, it's a lot easier to bounce back from adversity when you have a 4-0 lead as opposed to getting down 3-0.
No, I agree. Baseball is anybody can win any given day. You know, the momentum changes, something happens, and I think this could be the play for the Unicorns.
Yeah, it definitely has that feel. It was a little bit of a wacky play. You don't see it every day. And the double itself was beautiful.
The crowd certainly enjoyed it.
Latona fouls that one back. Once again, hacking on a 3-0 pitch. We've seen that now twice. And that's something that's really doesn't exist in traditional baseball. But as the game evolves, this league also evolves, and we're starting to see people taking hacks on 3-0. 3-1. Now that one fouled back to the screen.
We had another full count here.
Yeah, quite a few of those.
Let's see if Latona can connect and send him home.
Grote standing on third. The full count pitch misses away. Runners on the corners, nobody out. Latona draws a walk.
Not looking good for Alexander here early on in the 4th. 2 on, no outs.
And now you're getting to the meat of the lineup for the Unicorns. You got Ward now, and then Allen and Spencer Ibarra, who all have power. And this is where it could get sticky if you're a diamond hopper.
Yeah, like I mentioned before, the 230 pounds really packs that power. And this is what's needed for the Unicorns right now if they want to trim down that lead. Wow,
big swing and a miss there by Ward. I think he had his eyes on the Chevy Pavilion out in left field.
Yeah, that swing definitely had the feel of home run.
Ward from Garfield Heights, Ohio. Behind 0-1. Another big swing. 0-2 now, though, on Mr. Ward.
But Congo tried to fake that throw over to first, trying to throw off our runners.
That one scorched foul down the first base line. Latona at first, Grote still at third, and Ward at the plate. And right now, if you're a Unicorn, right now just get that one run, get on the board, sack fly, however you have to do it. But that one misses high and in.
The best thing to do right now is just chip at that lead little by little. Hopefully the defense can make the stops needed to hopefully get the win at the end of the night.
Yeah, this Unicorns pitching staff has a long night ahead of them. Try to keep this where it is as Ward tips that one in the glove for strike 3. So a big out for Devin Alexander. Gets the first out of the inning, but now also has to go through the 4 and 5 hitters unless a double play takes place. But right now the DH, Chris Allen, steps in. Big power out of this man too.
Chris Allen's batting just below 400. So he knows how to connect with the ball. Hopefully he can make it happen here.
Breaking ball falls in right over the heart of the plate for a strike.
This umpire really likes to wait for these calls.
Yeah, no kidding. That was probably the longest one we've seen. Alexander had 0-1. Allen checks his swing, gonna peel down, and the field umpire signals that Chris Allen did in fact offer at that 0-1 pitch. Now he's behind 0-2.
We've seen this happen a lot for the Unicorns as well, falling in the count.
Yeah,
Hopefully Allen.
Something as a pitcher you love to see, but as a hitter it gets that much harder when you're down 0-2.
Well, hopefully Allen can get out of this.
Alexander, ooh, that one slipped out of the hand. Way high and outside. 1-2. One thing you cannot afford to have right now is a double play, because that just kills the momentum completely. That one bounces in. Snap throw back to first. Latona dives back in safely. But Thomas Lacongo really quick on his feet with that idea to throw that snap throw back. Saw a little bit too much of a lead. That one flared to right field. Going to get out of play.
I think a lot of people underestimate the mobility catchers have.
And these guys, they take a beating day in, day out. And yeah, they're toughest, really I think the toughest players on the diamond.
I agree.
And usually the smartest. You see a lot of major league managers who were former catchers at the major league level or minor league level. So just there's a lot of good qualities that come out of catchers. 2-2 now on Allen. That one misses low. Run the count full once more.
Going back to the catchers, they're really the eyes for the team. They can literally see every play before it happens, in my opinion. They know how to adapt really well.
And Allen steps out of the box. Maybe not too happy with the time Alexander was taking. But now they get ready for this 3-2 pitch. Wow, that looked good to me. Must have missed low, but that will fill the bases up. That was a good firm fastball by Alexander. Just missed low, but he made the right pitch.
Yes, that looked right, like it was right down the heart of the play, in my opinion. Apparently the umpire saw differently.
Spencer Ibarra, 5-hitter in this lineup. Another guy with big power. Already has a homer this year. 8 RBIs, 7 hits. And as I mentioned earlier, the 1-800-Hanson's player of the game. First pitch to Ibarra. Curveball that missed just outside.
So far, Alexander has 26 walks this season, 33 strikeouts. So let's see if he can keep those stats in line down in this stretch.
Alexander, after missing with a curveball on the first pitch of the at-bat, comes right back. This one, however, caught the inside part of the plate, and the count will even up at 1-1. That one fouled back. Had there not been a net, maybe we would have saw that ball come to the booth, but fortunately for us, there's a net that goes down until the dugouts.
A lot of these batters have faced the 1-2 count early on. Some have gotten out of it, some kind of faced the wrath of the strikeout.
Alexander, the 1-2. Soft line drive. One, the relay, got him, double play. Ibarra not happy, slams the helmet down, and a missed opportunity for the Unicorns. Had bases loaded, and also they had runners on the corners with 1 out. Nothing to show for it.
That really hurts the momentum for the Unicorns here, trying to chip away at that lead, came away with nothing.
We'll be back with more. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back. We're in the top of the 5th inning here in Utica, Michigan. Gabe Gunter will lead off things in the 5th.
Growing up in this area, it was kind of a weird feeling getting this baseball field built just miles away from my house.
Yeah, it kind of happened out of nowhere. You just saw this as an open field, and then all of a sudden you hear baseball field, and then you drive past. You're like, oh, I can kind of see how that works. And it's really just turned into an absolutely beautiful ballpark and a place where families have come out for now. This is the 3rd season, and yeah, it's just a very beautiful ballpark. 1-1 the count on Gunter. In there for a strike. 1-2 on the man out of Thousand Oak, California, excuse me.
Gunter had a single early on in this game.
Shoots that one down the line, foul. Towards the bullpen.
Diamond Hoppers are looking to increase their lead here in the top of the 5th inning.
Always good to get insurance runs. No lead is safe. We've seen offenses come up with bursts of runs out of nowhere, so you want to just add to this lead. Swing and a miss. And Gunter went fishing for that fastball. 1 away. Josh McAdams coming back to the plate. Really broke this game open with that 3-run home run.
Yes, he did.
And as I said earlier, he kissed the sky with that one.
Yeah, having 3 RBIs on that home run really opened up this game and really led to the momentum that we've seen the Hoppers have.
McAdams getting ready to swing. First pitch he sees, fouls it back, out of play.
I think he's trying to carry the momentum onto his next at-bat.
Oh, yeah, once you get that first home run, you're definitely looking to go yard a second time.
Yeah, your confidence certainly goes up.
That's a breaking ball this time. I mean, it misses low and away. One. Tapped foul down the 3rd base line. The flag's out in the outfield. Pretty, for the most part, still. There's a bit of wind swirling around out there, but at the field level, it's still, and the wind hasn't been a factor to this point.
We just have the nice breeze going along, keep the players cool. Nothing's too hot.
Swing and a miss there. McAdams, after the home run, is a victim of another Abreu strikeout.
Abreu still looks really good after allowing that home run to McAdams in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, he's done a fine job aside from that. But it still counts, and you got to bounce back from that. So. First pitch to Buhner.
He has surpassed that 3rd inning mark, though, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, definitely a positive. 0-1 on Buhner as he swung through that first pitch. And did he call that a strike? Yeah, I believe. Wow, I believe he did call that a strike after a long delay.
Yeah.
That one very close. It looked like he had almost given up and called it a ball, and then kind of suddenly called it a strike. So.
Yeah, looked like Buhner was trying to communicate with him, and all of a sudden put his hand up. Kind of caught a lot of people off guard, in my opinion.
That Abreu fastball misses away once again. 2-2 the count on Gunnar Buhner.
Looks like that shimmy's coming back. Saw Chris Paul do it last night, and Buhner just did it now.
2-2. Misses inside. Yeah, a lot of good NBA action. We're seeing 2 of these conference finals come down to the wire. Celtics and Rockets both holding a 3-2 lead. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and it's swung on and missed. Another strikeout for Abreu.
Talk about a reach, though, on that.
Yeah, Buhner went fishing for that one. We played 4.5 in Utica. We'll be back with more on USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back to Jimmy John's Field. Justin Erlinson will step in. 0 for 1 so far tonight. Unicorns trying to get something going. Alexander's been in control all night. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball.
The Unicorns only have one hit, but you can tell they're really trying to be aggressive off the start. Hasn't really worked out in their favor, but hopefully it transitions into the second half of the game.
Alexander started him off with a breaking ball on the inner part of the plate, then comes back with a fastball that misses just outside. 1-1 the count on Erlandson. Swing and a miss. Erlandson was on his knee, kind of looking like Adrian Beltre. But nothing to show for it there.
You can see Erlandson's really trying to fish for that extra hit. He's trying to make sure that the confidence is up for the Unicorns heading into the second half of this game.
1-2 the count on Justin. Alexander misses low. Looked like that was a changeup that did what it's supposed to do. Good change of speed and good movement down in the zone, but it just missed low, and Erlandson wasn't fooled. He was here, however, as that is a breaking ball that swung right through. And a strikeout there for the Hoppers. Alexander's been pitching to contact for the most part today. Has got his fair share of strikeouts, but he's been getting outs efficiently.
Guilfoyle is a switch hitter, so I'd like to see him kind of switch it up a little bit, maybe throw off Alexander.
Bouncing ball taken by the shortstop. Nice play by Kevin Watley. Nice big hop right in the center of the diamond. And as most baseball clubs go by, that's a shortstop's ball in every circumstance.
Yeah, the Hoppers defense has looked really good so far this game.
Dylan Sprague, who struck out in his last at-bat on a breaking ball that looked like it was outside, but a chance to bounce back for Dylan. That one misses upstairs.
So far, Sprague's 1 for 19 this season. Not too good. Hopefully he can get the momentum.
Fouls that one back towards the suites behind home plate.
I feel like for a lot of these players that are new to the league, it kind of takes a lot more time for them to adjust. I think Sprague's one of those key players.
No doubt about that. 2-1 count on Sprague. Alexander hasn't usually fallen behind hitters, but here is a rare example of that. 2-1. Now 3-1. And now you got to be careful. You don't want a base runner, however, there are 2 out, so wouldn't be the end of the world.
Like you said, this is a rare occasion to see this happen.
And Sprague hesitated for a moment as if he was waiting for that strike call, but he gets the free pass to first base.
I think a lot of these players are used to the ump delaying the calls, and I think that it's kind of getting to him now.
Well, A.J. Reynolds has a chance to keep this going for the Unicorns. Unicorns still with that one hit, which was the double. As that one shot down the first base line, just foul. Yeah, the double by Carter Grote, which one hopped the wall by that 315 sign out and left. And then it was misplayed. Actually, it was played pretty standardly, but the throw came in off the line, and it allowed Grote to scamper on to third. And that's really been the only action we've seen from the Unicorns so far. 0-1 the count on Reynolds. Swing and a miss. Another Adrian Beltre type swing. Ends up on his back knee. 0-2 quickly.
Another one of those occasions where the batter falls down in the count. Alexander has looked really good so far this game, and he's continued through the bottom of the 5th inning.
The 0-2 misses low. Sun setting to our west in Utica. Unfortunately, we can't see it from where we are. Swing and a miss. Bouncer. Throw on to first, and the side is retired. Reynolds goes down swinging. The Unicorns are done in the 5th, and we'll be back with more on the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back. We have a new pitcher on for the Unicorns. It's Michael Shkamenko out of New Jersey. And Mike Shkamenko has a funky delivery. He has kind of that Johnny Cueto type hesitation. And he has 3 different types, which we saw from Johnny Cueto a couple seasons ago, where he, in his Cy Young, I believe it was Cy Young season, where he really used all those different types of deliveries. And we're seeing that here from the lefty on the bump for the Unicorns.
Shkamenko's pitched 3 innings so far this season, walking 5 batters and has 6 strikeouts. So he certainly has experience this season. Was also a part of the Unicorns last year.
Chris Mangus will step in. 1 for 2. Had that single early on to right field.
Here's one of few Michigan natives from Niles, Michigan.
Not too far from Jimmy John's Field, about an hour away. That one driven right center field, and the gap's going to be a long run. And the right fielder, Spencer Ibarra, will cover some ground and haul that one in. 1 away.
Looked promising for a minute, though. It had the height.
And, yeah, another good sign. You saw Mangus use the right side of the field, which we hadn't seen in the first couple of weekends. Drove that one with authority to the gap in right center.
Indeed he did.
John Kraft, who's had a tough evening, to say the least, steps in 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. Big hack there. And swung right through it.
He really tried to make a statement on that swing based on his last 2 at-bat appearances. He's really trying to change the momentum.
That last fastball was 89 miles an hour. Shkamenko misses on that one, and it looks like he's a little bit discomfort maybe with the landing spot, but we'll get back on the bump. 0-2 the count on John. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Kraft. And another strikeout for the Unicorns pitching staff. That's the first for Shkamenko,
Shkamenko.
Shkamenko, excuse me. A little bit tricky on these. Some of these names are a bit tricky. We'll figure it out, though. Kevin Watley has a walk to his credit, but nothing else. 0 for 1. That one misses away. Appeal down to first, did not go.
200 even though the batting average. Not too bad this season, having 4 hits and 5 RBIs.
The 1-0 delivery in the dirt. 2-0 at the count now. Shemanka very animated on the mound. I feel like he's taking his hat off a few times. A lot of deep breaths. It's kind of cool to see that. That one's skied in the air. Who's going to take it? And it looks like the second baseman will take it. That's Dylan Sprague to retire the Hoppers. We played 5.5 here in Utica, Michigan. We'll be back with more. This is the USPBL YouTube channel. Home half of the 6th inning. And Carter Grote, the man with the only hit for the Unicorns. That was a double. And got to third on the error.
Hopefully he can continue to ignite the momentum here that the Unicorns need as they look to chip away the lead on the bottom of the 6th.
Delvin Alexander quickly ahead 0-2. Carter Grote, a few big cuts. Maybe looking to have another extra base hit, but his approach so far this at-bat hasn't worked out well. Really getting ahead of those 2 breaking balls. And now 1-2. Here is the 1-2. Tap back, stays alive. Still 1-2 on the leadoff man for the Unicorns.
So far, this has not been a bad game. We've seen a lot of good signs from both teams.
Yeah, and Devin Alexander has done a marvelous job attacking these Unicorns hitters. Another example here, swing and a miss, Carter Grote. He has some words for the home plate umpire, but we'll go back to the dugout.
I think he tried to argue that he tipped that ball.
Yeah, didn't appear from our view, but we're pretty high up, so maybe that's not our call, but the home plate umpire was in agreement with us. And Jimmy Latona had a walk in that frame where the Unicorns threatened.
Yeah, like you said, having runners on the corners, really trying to make a change here, trying to get the Unicorns to be down by 1 run.
Yeah, the momentum quickly went to the Unicorns and then quickly taken from the Unicorns in a matter of minutes. So yeah, that was quite something to see. That one fouled back into likely a parking lot. 2-1 the count on Latona. Coming into action today, Latona was 294. And watches that one dive in for a strike. 2-2 the count on Jimmy.
Another late signal here by the umpire.
No doubt. Alexander fools Latona. Strike 3. And Devin Alexander really dominating this lineup right now. He's racked up the strikeouts in the last few innings.
He's really showed who's been in control.
Dan Ward up at the plate.
Yeah, he's really showed who's been in control for the Hoppers.
That's now 9 strikeouts for Devin Alexander. That last one was actually his 10th strikeout. So, yeah, we mentioned Abreu, a lot of strikeouts, and I think what Devin Alexander's done is just kept him steady. He hasn't really piled up a lot in a row, but he's throughout, even back to the start of this game, he's been throwing strikes, and it's kind of gone. It's been a quiet 10 strikeouts, if that's even possible.
Well, I mean, he's faced 20 batters, so that's a really good ratio right there to see that he's able to strike out about half the batters he's faced. And as you mentioned, Abreu also had 10 strikeouts.
And he did it in a much shorter time.
He did it in 5 innings.
Back to the mound once again. Gobbled up there at second base. Ward is out by a step. Nice play by Sebastian Diaz off the ricochet off of Devin Alexander. And the score remains 4-0. We're going to take a break. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. Tommy Lacongo will lead things off for the Hoppers in the 7th inning. Just a reminder, after the conclusion of this one, there's going to be fireworks after the game, as we do every Friday here at the USPBL.
This is really a packed weekend here for the USPBL.
Yeah, no doubt. We have Firework Friday and then Classic Rock Saturday, which happens to be 80s night tomorrow. And then Sunday, fun day at the ballpark, as Shamanica misses that one away.
Yeah, we have the doubleheader on Sunday.
Yeah, the doubleheader on Sunday. And then, obviously, the Memorial Day edition of the USPBL, which we don't see many Monday ball games. However, with the holiday, we're going to play some baseball. So a busy weekend at the ballpark. Come on down. It's going to be pretty good weather and great baseball.
Yeah, and if you're not from the area, make sure you guys tune in. First pitches are usually at 7:05, except for Sunday and Monday are going to be at 1:05.
Congo down on the count 1-2. Congo has a base hit to his credit. 1 for 2. A 1-2 tap directly behind home plate.
He's another one of those consistent batters that the Hoppers have this season.
Yeah, so far he's gotten off to a very hot start. 375 going into tonight's action. That's gone up with the 1 for 2 performance. That one misses low from Shemanka.
Yeah, even though he's been struck out 4 times, he's still able to connect with the ball, having 3 hits so far this season.
Yeah, hopefully we're going to see Lukongo get more reps, because only 3 hits. Not a huge body of work, but as he swings through that fastball, nice pitch. And 1 away for the Unicorns here in the 7th. Back to the top of the lineup, Cody Rudicelli. He's been active so far today. He's been on the base paths. He's got some dirt on that jersey. You love seeing that. 1 for 2. With he had a single and also a walk. So, and it's good to have your leadoff guy reach base. That's such a good way to get easy offense.
Yeah, the battings look really good here for the Hoppers during this game. A lot of guys have come out aggressive off the start, even after watching that first pitch.
Rudicelli shoots that one back to the screen. 1-1 the count on Cody, the center fielder. Another one of those guys from the South. You mentioned that earlier, where you can play baseball all year round, from Florida, which is another great baseball breeding ground. Shemanka, the 1-1. He's in there for a strike. Rudicelli offered at it, but couldn't come up with it. Darkness starting to fall over southeast Michigan. Sun hasn't fully set yet. We're still seeing some light, but for the most part, it's nighttime in Utica.
Still beautiful weather, though.
Oh, no doubt.
Temperatures died down a little bit.
Which is honestly a good thing, I think. It was upper 80s. So, yeah, nighttime will definitely help out with the temperature. 2-2 the count on Cody Rudicelli. Fouled down the right field line, well out of play. And as our main play-by-play guy, Rich Borland, likes to mention, a lot of foul territory here. Kind of reminds us of the Oakland Coliseum. But that one stood no chance. The 2-2 coming in. On the ground to third. Throw on to first. Safe is the call. Rudicelli is on. That's an infield base hit. Brandon Guilfoyle made a nice play on it. Gathered. Made a nice throw, but Speedy Rudicelli is on.
That was quick.
And not only is Cody Rudicelli fast, but he gets out of the box very fast. He
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm. hits it and doesn't waste any time getting down to first. 2-2 the count on Cody Rudicelli. 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 2-2
I expect us to see his speed continue during this next batter.
And Sebastian Diaz will be the next batter, another Florida native. The fastball from Shemenka is just outside. By the way, Rich Borland will be back tomorrow. We're just filling in. He was unable to make to the ballpark tonight, but he'll be back. Rich, if you're listening, we miss you.
That was a very awkward swing by Diaz.
Yeah.
Kind of looked like a golf swing.
Was a little unsure on that, but he did swing, and it's 1-1.
Pitching has not been terrible here for the Unicorns. Shemenko so far, just over the inning that he's pitched, has allowed only 1 hit with 2 strikeouts.
Misses away on that offering. 2-1 the count now. Swinging a drive, left field, way back. Sebastian Diaz hits it on the Chevy Pavilion. Oh my goodness. I have not seen a home run hit to left field with that much authority. Wow.
There was a lot of power behind that swing. You can tell he connected with that ball in the right spot at the right time.
Yeah, and Diaz knew he got it as soon as he hit it. It wasn't much of a bat flip, but he looked down on the ground, took his time to first base.
And it's not like Diaz is a big guy either.
Yeah, but packs a lot of power in that frame, and wow, he got a hold of that one. Now Gabe Gunter, after that absolute bomb. 6-0 now. That's a 2-run shot. Rudicelli was on first base. And he's been using a speed all night, but he could walk home if he wanted to on that one. Oh, 0-1 the count. That one's in there for a strike.
After this inning, the Hoppers are really going to have to play magnificent defense if they want to keep that lead. The Unicorns are going to be coming out aggressive, trying to at least chip away a little bit.
0-2 the count on Gunter. Looks as if he wanted to offer, but didn't, and they're not going to appeal to the field umpire. Going back to that home run by Sebastian Diaz, the left fielder, Carter Grote, didn't even move. Usually you see the outfielders at least attempt to go after it. He just stood right in his tracks as Gunter goes down, silently protests that one. It looks like it was outside, and shaking his head as he slowly walks back to the dugout. 2 away now. Josh McAdams, who also hit a home run earlier in this one. Really the big blow as 3 RBIs, all of them coming on that blast.
Hopefully we can keep it up here. Maybe get an insurance run.
Shemenka misses high with that first pitch offering.
That pitch was at 91 miles per hour too, so Shemenka's still throwing some heat here.
And out of that left hand too, usually you see lefties sacrifice some velocity, but 91 out of a left hand arm in a developmental league, that's a positive if you can have that velocity from the left side. But he's behind 2-0 on McAdams. And there's a breaking ball in for a strike. 2-1 the count on McAdams, who showed us his power earlier. Defense playing straight up once again. Outfield or infield maybe a step past where they usually play, but for the most part they're playing straight up. Outfield the same, maybe a little deeper than we'd see, but
Dylan Sprague, though, I think he's pushed back a little further than normal.
He's about 2 steps into the grass, and I'm sure there's been some advanced scouting, which would lead them to play Sprague there as ball 4 misses high. So another base runner for the Hoppers. And Gunnar Buhner will get another chance. Maybe tack on to this already 6-run lead.
Baseball runs in the family, though, for Buhner. His dad playing over for the Mariners for a little bit. There's definitely a lot of high expectations here.
Yeah, that's expectations for sure, especially when you have your father playing in the show. As a kid, you're probably at the ballpark every day, and you grew up on baseball, so I'm sure Gunnar Buhner is loving this.
A lot of people don't even realize that Buhner actually played a little bit in the Philadelphia Phillies minor league teams for a season.
He does still have some developing to do. That's why he's back. But a really promising young player is Buhner. The 1-1 is in there for a strike from Szymanka.
Yeah, like you said, this is his first year as a member of the Diamond Hoppers. So there definitely is room to grow. He's still got to get comfortable with the feel of this game.
That one misses outside, 2-2 in the count on Gunnar Buhner. Swing and a miss. That'll do it for the Hoppers this half inning. We'll be back with more. Sebastian Diaz put another bomb into the left field pavilion. We'll be back with more on USPBL YouTube channel. We're back for the home half of the seventh. Devin Alexander will come out for his 7th inning of work. He's done a almost flawless job, only allowing that one hit off the bat of Carter Grote.
Yeah, Alexander's looked really good so far. Really aggressive.
As Chris Allen fouls that one back. He appeared to be fooled on that first offering. He kind of lunged at it, got a little out in front. And the 0-1 misses just outside. Another good pitch, though. Alexander has a 6-run lead and has got a lot of support from his defense as well.
Yeah, both teams' defenses look really good. Besides the 2 home runs, a lot of nice, clean plays have been made between both teams.
The 2-1 breaking ball misses on the outside part. Just missed. It looked like it caught a bit of the plate. 3-1, however, and here's the 3-1. That one's in there for a strike. Run the count full once more. We've been saying that a lot. So Chris Allen is going to have to protect. And he is unable to. Swing and a miss. Another big cut.
Was definitely unhappy with that swing.
Yeah, immediately appeared to be just livid with himself, or maybe it was someone on the hoppers, but whatever it was, he was not happy. And it very easily just could have been that strikeout, because it was a hittable fastball for sure. Spencer Ibarra is up at the plate, takes strike one down the middle.
This was another local player. He attended Ohio University, so not too far away.
Originally from Colorado, but yeah, now making his way to the Midwest, and then now here in Utica. That one flared down the left field line. Going towards the warning track there in left field is Gabe Gunter, 2 away. Erlinson comes up again. It's been a very frustrating night for the Unicorns. They've had really a lot of trouble putting the bat on the ball, or at least with some authority. They've put the ball in play, but not with authority.
Yeah, they've definitely been able to connect a couple times, but have yet to get another hit besides the one that we saw earlier on.
That one was about 58 feet as it bounces in front of home plate. Alexander even 1-1. Big swing and a miss there by Erlinson.
Again, falling down in the count.
Alexander been ahead all night. Up 1-2 here. Big breaking ball, got him on strikes. Another strikeout for Devin Alexander. The Unicorns go down once again without putting a run on the board. And we're going to take a break. We'll be back with more on the USPBL YouTube channel. Top of the 8th here in Utica. Chris Mangus will step in. And we have a new pitcher for the Unicorns.
Yeah, Eric Thomas, number 44 from York, Pennsylvania. So far, he's pitched 3 innings. 2 of those innings actually came against the Diamond Hoppers earlier on in the season.
Mangus, big swing and a miss there. 1-1. Thomas, another pretty tall left-handed pitcher, 6'3", but very long, and a lot of authority out of these first few pitches we've seen. That's softly on the ground to short. Reynolds gobbles it up, throws on to first. 1 away.
Magnus had some speed going down the first baseline.
Yeah, definitely more speed than I anticipated, I'll say that for sure. He's a big guy. But yeah, he got down the line pretty well, and he definitely hustled down the line.
I've definitely been impressed, though, with the Unicorns pitching this game. Even though they allowed those 2 home runs, they've been really solid.
Kraft, who's had a tough night at the plate, steps in. And Thomas missed that curveball badly, going over the head of John Kraft. Here's the 1-0. Misses away. 2-0 quickly on John. It'd be good to see John Kraft get a hit here. He's really struggled the last few weeks. 188 coming into action today, along with this over 3 performance today. But now it's 3-0.
Yeah, he went on a quick dry spell, not having 3 hits.
2-1, excuse me.
No, you're good. Not having 3 hits in 3 games, but the last 2 games he's actually come away with a hit. So hopefully
now 3-1.
Hopefully he can carry that momentum into this game.
That one looped into center field. It's actually going to stay in the infield, excuse me. Sprague will run it down. Fought off and couldn't muscle that into the outfield. It looked like it was headed there, but
it looked like it definitely could have dropped in the gap in shallow center field, but not enough power on that hit.
And the frustrations continue for Mr. Kraft, 0 for 4. And now Kevin Watley, who's 0 for 2 with a walk, will get another shot at it. Foul back, 0-1 quickly. 2 away here in the top of the 8th. Absolutely beautiful night for baseball. Slight breeze, just keeping the temperature nice. As that one is in there for strike 2.
You can definitely see the flags are blowing a little bit more.
Yeah, game time, it was 87 degrees. And it has since dropped to 80. So still toasty out here, but more comfortable for sure. Thomas misses on that 0-2 fastball.
Thomas kind of seems like he's a little flustered, not yet comfortable, as he came into the top of the 8th inning.
1-2. That one bounces in.
Really struggling to find the strike zone now.
Watley, another Washington native. We've seen 2 of them on the field today. And the fielders all run to the dugout and then have to momentarily stop as they appeal down to first base. And a strikeout is recorded. We will take a break. We'll be back with more on the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back. We have a new pitcher, Keaton Aldridge. The righty is on the mound now from Birmingham, Michigan. So we talk about local guys. Here's probably the most local guy we have. What more can you tell us about Keaton Aldridge?
Aldridge was actually drafted by the Milwaukee Brewers in the 40th round of the 2011 MLB Junior Amateur Draft from Glenwood School.
We've seen a good number of these guys who have been drafted and played in major league organizations.
There's
Aldridge,
two of them.
one of them.
Two of them are from the Eastside Diamond Hoppers with Alex Vargas, another teammate of his. That was drafted by the Houston Astros.
Brandon Larkin and Guilfoyle will step in as the Unicorns need to make something happen, and they need to make it happen pretty quick. Down to the last 6 outs.
Aldridge has pitched 3 games this season, only 3 innings. Has a loss with 7 hits, 5 walks, and 5 strikeouts.
So he's definitely struggled early on. His ERA
The 18 right now.
Yeah, you don't like seeing that. Now that one's hit sharply. Guilfoyle singles to left field.
Second hit of the night for the Unicorns.
And, yeah, right off the bat, very solid contact.
You can definitely feel the atmosphere change here in the stadium as the Unicorns came out a little more aggressive than we've seen in past innings.
Yeah, first pitch swinging. And now Sprague, who is 0 for 1 with a walk and really has struggled getting out of the gates. We'll see if maybe Aldridge can help him out here.
Definitely surprised to see Alexander taken out after having those solid innings.
Yeah, he pitched very well and was efficient as Aldridge gets behind 1-0. Sprague bounces that one. That could be 2. McAdams to first, and they somehow turn the double play. It looked like Sprague had beat it by a step. However, the field umpire called him out, and it was from a distance. Didn't have the best angle on that, but that was a very nice play by McAdams and a good turn back across the diamond.
That was a great read, though, by Aldridge. Realizing that his first baseman wasn't going to be able to make the play. Trying to hustle to the bag. That was excellent there by Aldridge.
Definitely a lot of pitchers in this league can field their position, that's for sure. A.J. Reynolds, the shortstop at the plate. And that's a strike. Double plays, big help for any pitcher, but especially a guy like Aldridge who's struggled mightily. That's a big help for a guy like him.
Even after giving up the hit to the first batter, now Aldridge is a little more comfortable after having 2 outs.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. It's a lot easier pitching with the bases empty. Reynolds open stance, holds the bat high above his shoulder, and kind of an awkward swing there. Stepped out of the box while still trying to lunge at it.
Reynolds really hasn't had that much experience so far this season. He's only played in 4 games and only has 1 hit.
Reynolds waiting on the 1-2. And that's fouled back. And the Hoppers this evening have 8 hits, 1 error. And we've seen the Unicorns with only 2 hits, and they do have no errors, but they've really been held quiet for the most part. As Reynolds will step back in after taking a few practice swings.
This really isn't expected when you see division foes face off.
That one popped up. Will get out of play, possibly in the grandstand. We'll see. And it does stay in the grandstand. And based off the crowd reaction, seems like a play was made down there, but I couldn't quite see it from my vantage point. Aldridge still ahead, 1-2. Checked his swing. Did he go? They're going to peel down to first. No, he did not. Reynolds gets to see another pitch.
2s across the board is a pretty good sign.
Reynolds, the 2-2 swing and a miss in the dirt. He'll try to run down, but the tag is applied. And the Unicorns are down to the last 3 outs. We head to the 9th inning. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back to Utica. We have another pitching change. Chris Dula is on the mound, the righty. What do you got on him, Robert?
Chris Dula may or may not have hit 100 miles per hour so far this season. He spent 2 years with the Utica Unicorns. So far only has an ERA of 6.75, so not a bad pitcher. 7 strikeouts, 4 walks, and has 3 hits. So let's see what he can do here to shut out the game. Hopefully he doesn't help the Diamond Hoppers increase their lead.
The Hoppers with a 6-run cushion. Catcher Lacongo up at the plate. Just a reminder, tomorrow, Rich Borland and Luke Hammett will be on the call for 80s night at the ballpark. So tune in if you're not going to be at the ballpark. Lacongo ahead 1-0. Drives that one to right field. And caught in right field by Spencer Ibarra.
Like we've said time and time again, both teams' defenses are playing outstanding so far, besides those 2 home runs.
Back to the top of the order, Cody Rudicelli, who's 2 for 3. 2 singles and a walk. So very nice night. He scored a few runs as well. He's been a good spark plug at the top of this Hoppers lineup.
In fact, you can argue that he may or may not have been player of the game.
He has my vote. The 1-0 is driven sharply to left field. Another base hit, so Cody Rudicelli hasn't stopped hitting since he got to the ballpark tonight. That's his third hit. And now we're going to move it on the order. Sebastian Diaz, who hit that absolute bomb last time up on the Chevy Pavilion. And I said it earlier, and I'll say it again, I've never seen a ball hit out to left field with that much authority.
No, I can't say I have ever seen that myself.
Not in batting practice, not in games. Diaz really showing his power. Rudicelli on first. Little sawed-off action there. Won the relay. Reynolds, nifty play over to first. Falling and throwing simultaneously.
That was a
and
clean
A.J.
play.
Reynolds with a nice play there at the shortstop position. We're going to go to the bottom of the ninth here in Utica. Last call time for the Unicorns, excuse me. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back. Bottom of the ninth inning. Unicorns will have one last chance to put at least 6 on the board. But right now, they're going to have to go through Alex Vargas, the new pitcher on the mound. Robert, you've been the man all night. What do you have about Mr. Vargas?
Alex Vargas was actually drafted by the Houston Astros in the 39th round in the 2015 MLB June amateur draft from Monroe Community College. So far this season, pitching 5 innings, has 4 hits, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, and an ERA of 1.8.
Yeah, Vargas a power arm, and he's been shutting the door on all of his USPBL opponents to this point, and he'll have to do it here. It's an unsafe situation, but you want to get out of this inning with no damage done and get out of the ballpark with a win. Adrian Guzman will pinch hit for Carter Grote, who had one of the 2 hits this evening for the Unicorns. Guzman's gotten off to a nice start in limited action, 375 in a couple of games.
Yeah, also has 2 RBIs, 3 hits. He's been walked 5 times though, so he knows how to find his way to home plate or first base.
That first pitch from Vargas misses inside. The 1-0. Hit sharply to second base. Nice play at second base.
Diaz looked really good off that. Nice initial hop. Was able to make that clean play.
Yeah, Diaz hit that home run and now makes a play on a ball that was hit very sharply. Had to make a few steps to his left and was able to haul it in. The catcher, Latona. Most likely his last at-bat of the evening.
Went 0 for 2 in a walk earlier this evening.
That's fouled back, out of play.
But still has an average of just below 300, so he knows how to connect with the ball.
Vargas is from New York, New York, and Latona is from Rochester, New York. So we got two New York natives going at it right now. We've seen some New York, we've seen a lot of Midwest, and we've seen
some Florida.
Yeah, so, but New York definitely one of the states. So we've seen a good number of these players, and Vargas and Latona are just two of them. Looks like Vargas forgot to tie his shoe earlier, and now he's he's taking his time. And I heard a few fans give him a joking boo. Oh, 0-2. The one out here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
The Unicorns still only have those 2 hits.
That one misses away. 1-2 on Latona, who has a walk. But that's all. Vargas ready for the 1-2. Breaking ball in the dirt.
Latona does have 1 home run on the season and could come in handy here.
Even if you don't come out on top, you want something to build off of next time around. As Vargas absolutely dusts Latona with that fastball. Could not catch up. And the Unicorns down to their final out. And you can see that hair. That's Nico Lolio at the plate now.
He's another Michigan native from Carleton.
Yeah, and this guy has some real power. And another fan favorite.
Yeah, just above 3 for batting average. So Lolio is definitely a fan favorite here batting-wise.
Ground ball to second. This should do it. Lolio is out, and that'll do it. The Hoppers get a 6-0 victory over these Utica Unicorns. Really all night, Devin Alexander had this game in control.
And he really set the tone early.
And then he kind of gave way to the bullpen, and they kept on going with what Alexander started. So overall, very solid performance, a couple home runs, and so just a very solid all-around win. And our player of the game, in my opinion, you can agree or disagree if you want. I'm going to go with Cody Rudicelli on this one. Had 3 hits, scored a bunch of runs, was all over the diamond. What do you think?
No, I agree with that pick 100%. He was very aggressive at the plate throughout the entire night. Never really slowed down, was able to connect with the ball, like you said, on 3 separate appearances. So he definitely was a factor in the Hoppers' win tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, the kids are running the bases. Fireworks are getting ready to be underway. Robert, this is your first call. What are your thoughts on the league, on this ball game?
It's a really nice league, you know, like they've really showed that they really want to make this a Disney-like experience for the community here in Utica. Not a lot of people are familiar with what's really available to do this summer, but with this stadium, a lot of families, a lot of people come here. It's really a nice experience. It really brings a lot of life to the city.
Yeah, for sure. We've seen a lot of people just going out to eat before and after games. Just it makes Utica a little more booming, and you love seeing that. Well, the Hoppers get a win behind the pitching performance of Devin Alexander and a couple home runs. First one, Josh McAdams, and then Sebastian Diaz hit a bomb to left field as well. Well, that's about it for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. Luke Hammett and Rich Borland will be on the call. That's it. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back with more USPBL baseball. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel.